What is going on, Pokemon fans? I'm Palkia, and today we'll be going over the top 10 most interesting Pokédex entries in the Galar region. For number 10, we have Cramorant. In Cramorant's Pokemon Sword entry, it says, it is so strong that it can knock out some opponents in a single hit, but it may also forget when it's battling mid-fight. So you could run into a Cramorant in the wild area, get into a serious battle with it, and then midway it totally forgets who it's fighting and goes after something else. What? But that's not all. The even crazier part is its Shield entry. This hungry Pokemon swallows Arrokuda whole. But that's not crazy enough. Occasionally it makes a mistake and tries to swallow a Pokemon other than its preferred prey. So you can see right here that it usually swallows Arrokuda, but it can also be seen swallowing a Pikachu in the game, and is known for swallowing other Pokemon too. That is terrifying. Imagine taking a walk with one of your Pokemon that you befriended ever since your journey started, and then a Cramorant comes along and swallows it whole. Scary stuff. On number 9, we have Dreepy. So this one is actually really interesting to me. So in the Sword Pokédex entry, it says, after being reborn as a ghost Pokemon, Dreepy wanders the areas it used to inhabit back when it was alive in prehistoric seas. So this means a lot of things. This means that Dreepy used to be alive as a different kind of Pokemon, and it is reborn. It's been resurrected as a ghost Pokemon. It used to be a water-type Pokemon in the oceans. Now that to me is really cool. If you look at Dreepy, and you can just kind of imagine it as a water-type fish Pokemon, the shape that it has. I could see that. It's zooming around the sea, still at the high speeds that it goes in the air. That's crazy. This Pokédex entry really stands out to me because this means that Pokemon can be brought back from prehistoric times, not just as fossils, but as different types of Pokemon, from water to ghost. And this means that they can come back not alive, but dead. So maybe we'll see some kind of ghost fossil Pokemon later on, who knows. For number 8 on this list, we have Milcery. So in Milcery's Sword Pokédex entry, it says, this Pokemon was born from sweet-smelling particles in the air. Its body is made of cream. So we know its body is made of cream by the looks of it, but it's literally made from sweet-smelling particles in the air. So you could imagine all over carnivals, theme parks, any kind of bakeries, these things just come to life out of nowhere. That is really weird. You can literally be eating food and it turn into a Pokemon right in front of you. It's also really weird to me that Alcremie's Pokédex entry states that it will give you treats like the strawberries on its head if you're a good trainer to it. So it's basically feeding you the items that are on its body that it is made of. That is just... oh, Pokemon is so weird. And for number 7, we have Wooloo. So its Sword Pokédex entry says its curly fleece is such an effective cushion that this Pokemon can fall off a cliff and stand right back up at the bottom unharmed. This thing is so fluffy that if it falls off a cliff, people, it will not be scratched. What? That is some really bouncy fur. In contrast, Pokemon Shield's entry for Wooloo is quite disturbing actually. It says, if its fleece grows too long, Wooloo will not be able to move. That is just horrifying. Cloth made with the wool of this Pokemon is surprisingly strong. So its wool is so strong that it cannot move if it grows too long. So it's good, but it's bad. In a way, Wooloo is suffering from its own success, okay? Just like DJ Khaled. Its wool is so strong, it can't get hurt by anything. You know what? This thing is stronger than Zamazenta, okay? Forget Zamazenta's shield, Wooloo is the strongest. For number 6, we have Corvisquire. Not Corviknight, but Corvisquire. So Corvisquire's entry is so interesting because it says in Pokemon Sword, it is smart enough to use tools in battle. These Pokemon have been seen picking up rocks and flinging them or using ropes to wrap up enemies. This is a really smart bird. Not only is it going to use its claws and wings and special kind of Pokemon attacks to battle you, but it's actually going to use tools made by people. That is really weird. So watch out when you're fighting a Corvisquire because you never know when it might pull out a sword or something. In the number 5 spot, we have Draco, Vish, and Dracozolt, actually. So these two are, you know, two in the same. They're both the same Pokemon halfway. So in Pokemon Sword for Dracovish, it says its powerful legs and jaws made an apex predator of its time. Its own overhunting of prey is what drove it to extinction. So this Pokemon hunted its prey so much that it had no more food anymore and died. So that's, you know, that's great. If this Pokemon can't get any weirder from its looks, its Pokemon Shield entry says it can run at 40 miles an hour with just its 2 fat legs. Okay, that's my own wording of it. But it also says this Pokemon cannot breathe unless it's underwater. So unless this thing is running at 40 miles underwater, which would be insane because of how much water resistance is on it, this thing is constantly suffocating. So also terrifying. Okay, so I did also mention Dracozolt. So Dracozolt is really similar to Dracovish's entry. It says in Sword, in ancient times, it was unbeatable thanks to its powerful lower body, just like Dracovish, but it went extinct anyways after it depleted all its plant-based food sources. So this thing suffered the same demise as Dracovish. This time it ate too many plants. For number 4, we have Gigantamax Hatterene. The Pokemon Sword entry for Gigantamax Hatterene says this Pokemon can read the emotions of creatures over 30 miles away. The minute it senses hostility, it goes on the attack. So I know in a 30-mile radius, there is definitely more than a few people angry at the moment. So unless everyone at the same time is calm in a 30-mile radius, this thing is on attack all the time, which is really, really scary. It's even scarier when the Pokemon Shield entry mentions that beams of lightning shoot down from its tentacles. It's known to some as the Raging Goddess. So I can easily see how this thing could go around destroying an entire city. And you can imagine if people would be angry and distressed at all the destruction this thing is causing. So it's going to infinitely generate more angry people and come after more and more people all the time. Whew, you don't want to mess with this thing. And it's not only the Gigantamax form that causes all this chaos, but even Hattrem, the middle evolution in this line, says no matter who you are, if you bring strong emotions near this Pokemon, it will silence you violently. So no matter if this thing is a baby, smaller than you, or bigger than a skyscraper, you don't want to get mad around it. And now we are in the top 3 most interesting Pokédex entries, so get ready because these are really, really wild. Okay, for number 3, we have Sandaconda. So, Sandaconda's sword entry states that when it contracts its body, over 220 pounds of sand sprays from its nose. If it ever runs out of sand, it becomes disheartened. So not only can this thing fit over 220 pounds of sand inside of it, but it comes out of its nose. I've always realized how big its nostrils are, but I never really thought that it would shoot sand out of them. There's no special animation for it or anything in the game, so I would have never thought about that. I mean, if you think about it, it's just blowing its sandy boogers all over you as an attack. That is really strange, and it makes me uncomfortable. Alright, here's a warning to everybody, because these last 2 Pokédex entries may really surprise you. So for number 2 on the list, we have Cufant. Not Capparaja, not Gigantamax Capparaja, but this little tiny elephant Cufant. In the sword entry, it states that it digs up from the ground with its trunk. It's also very strong, being able to carry loads of over 5 tons without any problem at all. You see how small this thing is. You see its little tiny trunk. 5 tons is a lot, guys. For reference, the average African elephant weighs 3 tons, okay? This thing can carry 5 without a problem. Who knows how much it can really carry with its full potential. I know most of y'all know this thing is a steel type, but it is hardcore. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, please get ready for number 1 on the list. Boltund is the most interesting Pokemon in the Galar region. So, I'll tell you why. In its Pokemon Sword entry, it states that this Pokemon generates electricity and channels it into its legs to keep them going strong, which is pretty obvious. The next sentence, Bolton can run non-stop for 3 full days. Most people cannot survive without food and water for 3 days, but this thing can keep itself running at full pace without stopping for anything that whole entire time. That is insane. Not to mention in Pokemon Shield, it mentions that it sends electricity through its legs to boost their strength, running at top speed. It easily breaks 50 miles an hour. So if you think you have a lot of stamina, think again, because Bolton has got you down. Anyways, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed and thought these Pokédex entries were as interesting as I thought they were, because some of them really did surprise me, and I spent a lot of time looking through the whole Pokédex in my Switch. Please keep in mind, and I'm sure you already know this, that all these Pokemon are the new Pokemon, so I did skip over a lot of the Pokemon that are in Sword and Shield, but I just wanted to stick to the new Pokemon in the Galar region. So anyways, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.